mental. My name is Marvin Kane. I am your host, but better than that, I'm your humble guide on this journey as we talk about all things relationship, specifically about age gap relationships. So today we're going to be exploring the recipe, yes, the recipe for making an age gap relationship successful. So we're not going to be talking about the normal stuff like not societal norms. We know some people in society have problems with functional relationships, such as an age gap one. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about friends or family. And we're not going to talk about the attractions that most people think are common, which are not. Where some people say an older man is only interested in a younger woman because of her beauty, and then they say a younger woman is only interested in an older man because of his wealth. It has nothing to do with any of those things. Let's explore this topic deeper. Let's go deeper than that. So, dating responsibly is something that anyone should do. Everybody should do this. Not recreational, not playing with people's emotions, but even more so when it comes to age gap relationships. There's a shared passion that develops between two people born in two different, time periods. So let's say it's a 30-year age gap. There's a relationship there that's just waiting to brew because people can find shared passions and almost anything. Your passion is something you like, and there are people of various age groups that like the same type of things. So it's the cornerstone to actually really building a deeper connection with your partner. So when we talk about shared passions, we're not just talking about hobbies. We're not talking about playing tic-tac-toe, playing poker, or 500 or bit whist. We're not talking about things like that. We're talking about those things that reach the heart of an individual. Maybe it's scuba diving. I'm just naming things. It could be just exploring the ocean or having a fascination with animals. Some people have passions for horses. And it's these passions like that that really bring people together. Some people have a passion for coding and working on computers. Some people have passions when it comes to being on the internet, like making YouTube channel lives and things such as this. These are passions, and when that chemistry starts to brew, you know you're going into the right direction. So we're going to look at a variety of different passions that people might have. But let's begin when we talk about age has no boundary when it comes to passions. It's open for anyone. And it just becomes the magnet that just attracts two people. It can really do this. So you have to be honest, though, about what really is your interest. And that's why relationships are for the mature. Relationships are not for the young. And on this channel, when we talk about maturity, we're talking about men and women above the age. For women, 23, 25 and older, men 25 to 27. And the reason why we say this, it has to do with the solidification of the brain. The brain is much harder and more solid at these stages of development, of maturity. So we're not looking for the 18, we're not talking to the 19, they're still in development. And if you're 18 and 19, hey, get a quick start on maturity. Pay attention to this channel, even share and like it with a friend, but definitely subscribe. So shared hobbies, I mean, it could be things like cooking. People like cooking. People like hiking. I love to cook. I used to like hiking when I was in my 30s, but now that I'm in my 50s, I'm not so much into hiking anymore. But I still do like cooking. So having good conversations about cooking, learning about different cultures when it comes to cooking, these are things that definitely excite me. And partners can be the same. These are bridges that can be brought closer together. The gap can be reduced just by having something real to talk about. Even religion, for a lot of people, is something that people feel passionate about, and just having mutual beliefs brings people closer together. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So creating new interests together, learning from each other's passions helps the couple to find that singular passion that makes them pretty unique. So mutual growth. When we talked about the passions, mutual growth is not the same. Mutual growth can be a situation where you actually start learning from your partner on a higher level. And that's because you're really paying a lot of attention to what's important to them in a very unique way. So personal development is about how each person actually can benefit from another person's experience. So older people have experiences, whether it's an older man or it's an older woman. The two of them with these younger parties, they have a lot to share. That's a given. But nobody has walked in the other person's shoes and done the same thing that someone else has done in life the same way. So there's a lot to be learned from younger people to older people at the same time. The world is modern, and what every older person needs is someone that's modern that kind of fits into the puzzle pieces of today's technology and just life circumstances, period, and what's common and what's popular, what's going on. A younger person can really fulfill the curiosities of an older person who's used to doing things a certain way from decades gone by. So, mutual growth is exciting when you see both partners benefit from what both partners are bringing to the table. So, setting goals together, mutual goals, discuss long-term goals. Some couples are not sure about having children in the future. Well, the younger person may want children. The other person may say, well, I already got grown kids, something like that. Well, these are conversations that need to be held because they are going to help you to project yourself into the future with your partner. So where do you see yourself? If you have different type of aspirations than your partner and real life stuff, I mean, like careers, retirement, where you're going to live, hot, cold weather, Caribbean weather. These are conversations that need to be held because they offer a foundation for where the relationship is going to be headed next. And that leads us to emotional maturity. It's just being open enough and honest enough to be vulnerable, to really let somebody into your life so that they can be able to help you see them and they help them see you. I mean, it's just amazing, right? Because you want to see your partner for who they really are. So age gap relationships, they bring a lot of these things to the table in a way that it becomes a dynamic that most people never experience in relationships where both parties are of the same age. And it's not that you have to work harder in an age gap relationship to make it work, but there's a certain level of respect there that needs to be understood. So partners can appreciate the stability and emotional wisdom that each of them share. Like the older person will bring that to the table. That's what we generally expect. But it's so amazing for an older person to be able to learn some pretty awesome things from a younger person and let younger people contribute, because there may be something you missed. If there's like 10 steps to solving a problem and you know 9 really well, it might be that 10th one that the younger person brings to your attention that's really going to help you to launch the future and the success of your relationship. So balancing out your emotions, this is where you find a home for your feelings with your partner. The older partner is a complement to the younger one, and thus the younger one at the same time adds enthusiasm and energy into the relationship. And all three of those in a mix, they make things powerful. They cause the conflict levels to be greatly reduced because they handle with a mutual emotional respect that says, you know what, I don't want to hurt you and I don't want you to hurt me either. So let's see how we can work this out. And the faster you do it, the better. But it all takes good, open communication. That's a thing we talk about on this channel all the time. Good, open communication. It's required. You've got to be honest about how you feel because you want to be respected for who you are and what's going on inside of your head. But at the same time, you want to be able to respect somebody else too and not live the life of guessing or assuming what you think is going on. Be fair to your partner. Open up. Talk to them. Let them know the details about your life. Each person has a perspective. None of us are robots, but we want to encourage you to continue, if you haven't, actively listen to your partner. See, it's these little things that are just basic to the course of life that actually are the things that actually take relationships from one place to the next place. Trust and be transparent. You must. Stress is always present. It's just a part of relationships. People feel and do things different. People are individuals. A man is a man and a woman is a woman, and we think differently. But in a relationship, we need to think and work as partners. The man needs to share some of the masculinity. The woman needs to share some of the femininity so that all parties involved can understand which direction the relationship is headed in. Because if you're confused about where your relationship's going because you're not talking about it, it's an empty feeling and it spells disaster for your future. So you might have a different perspective, but you always want to be in the mindset that you're willing to talk, not with being exasperated, not being frustrated, but talking with an open mind. Your partner may have some questions. Answer them. What's hard about answering the questions? What is hard? Nothing. It's a lot easier to answer those questions that they're asking in honesty so that you guys can move on and put whatever the concern is behind you and be willing to do the same thing. Be willing to ask your partner questions because you don't want to be in a life of assumption. You want to be able to have really good, strong communication because in age gap relationships, you may have decades apart. You may have just a few years apart. It could be 5 years apart. But think about it. When you were 1 year old and you're dealing with a 6 year old, that's a 5 year difference. 1 year olds and 6 year olds are different. So is the course of life. So if you're 25 years old and you're dating somebody who is in their 50s or 60s, y'all don't think alike. You come from two different time periods where things were handled differently in two different eras. So now you have to have that conversation so you know how you're going to handle those things with your partner. So broaden your horizon. Be eager to learn something new from your partner. You can do this every day. And every day in an age gap relationship is extremely exciting because it's not like yesterday. Every day is a present. Go for it. Be diverse. Different age generations offer different opportunities to do better. Now, we're always celebrating age gap relationships in a very positive way because there's a lot of benefits there, especially when it comes to making the relationship interesting and educational, but at the same time, the growth that comes. So you may have desires, you may be ambitious, maybe you want to start a business and your partner's an employee mindset. There's a big difference between an employee mindset and a business owner mindset. Me, I'm a business owner. So if my businesses don't do well, you know what I do? I don't think about getting a job. I don't have an employee mindset. I think about starting another business. Now, you may have two partners that are on two different pages when it comes to that, but what you're both on, you find what's common, the common agreement, and the way you can be supportive of a person's ambition is the dollar is the bottom line. Like, what can you do to bring the dollars in? Because families need money to survive, especially in this world as we speak right now. So being ambitious, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a business owner. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a good, safe employee. I say safe because that's just how some people think about having a job. Jobs are safe. Somebody else did all the hard work. But guess what? If you didn't do your job well, you could bring down the company or be a participant in the failure of an existing company. So no matter what you do, you have to do your best. You have to be about the business of being the best version of yourself that you possibly can. So your partner, and you can do the same, you're each other's cheerleader. You're standing in the corner, watching them grow, watching them make moves, but you're there to support and to make sure that they get ahead and get everything they want because you supporting them is them supporting you, and it's a circle of beauty and eloquence and amazement. It's awesome. That's where you want to be. So you can make each other's dreams come true. Don't be a quitter. Be a submitter. Be someone that wants to submit to somebody else's dream, help them grow, so they can be submissive to your dreams and help you grow. And guess what? If you both are helping each other, now you got two dreams that just became realized. Now you're moving ahead full force. Now you're a power couple. You're a power couple in your own right because you're doing great things together. See, that's balancing personal goals. You put that together, you discuss how you want to do these things, and you just go out and you achieve them. See, it's partnership. It's not individualized. This is what you do in an age gap relationship. This is what you should do in any relationship. But see, age gap relationships just offer a different spectrum of advantages because you come from a mind that's done things the same way and may have been successful or may not have been successful for a period of time. And then you come off a young mind, fresh ideas. See, when you embrace the past with the present, then that's how you know you're going to have a good future, because that's what comes after those two. See, after the past comes the present, and then we have the future. See, that's the gift that you're looking for, is to get to the next level. You do that with your partner, and you just start to experience all kinds of personal freedoms when you can call the shots together about your life. You want to take a trip to Egypt, go to Egypt. There are people in Egypt that don't want to be in Egypt. They want to come to the United States. Then that's what they do, is they aspire to do it with their partners. You want to go to Greece, you want to go to Italy, you want to go to Dubai, you want to do those amazing trips around the world, you want to go to Africa. I mean, do those things with your partner, because freedom is about choices. And you get there by making the right choices and the best choices in advance. Age gap relationships thrive off of these type of choices, but it's all boils down to respecting your partner. I mean, you've got to be willing to do this, but this is the honesty that it takes in the beginning. Are you really into this relationship? Is this your winner's circle? Is this your winner's corner? Is this where you want to be? in your relationship? Are you willing to make the sacrifices necessary? See, if you want to make that relationship all about you, see, this is when people bail out and get divorces. And like we talked about before, 90% of married women who are college educated, they file for divorce. That's a lot of people because those relationships, they've made them about themselves. And then you've got 70% of women who are married that have never been to college that are also filing. More women file for divorce at greater numbers than anybody. Married women, they do it all the time. So there's a reason for these type of things. You got to be willing, and we're not coming down on women because men do the same thing. You've got to make the relationship about y'all. It's got to be about you and him. It's got to be about him and her. It cannot just be about you. You got to make it about your partner. So there's no need for control. No need. One person is the other person. You know, when people see you, they should see your partner. You should be that entwined with each other. I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So controlling another person's behavior, that's not your job. That will never be your job. What a man wants is a woman that's free as a bird to make her decisions, because if the love is right, she's making decisions for you, for the benefit of you and the family. That's when the love is right. How does the love get right? That's because you treat her with respect. She can't help but want to do wonderful things for you, and vice versa. The man, when he's treated right, he can't help but to want to do things for his woman. And these are amazing things that helps relationships to flourish. This is the freedom. It's not individualized. You want to enrich your connection as a couple and just keep moving forward. Cultural exchanges. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is huge. My next wife is definitely not going to be from the culture I'm from. She's not going to be American. I know American. I want a woman that's diverse in other things, of courses in life, thinks differently than I do. That's the excitement, getting to know someone deeper. The connection that she and I would have would definitely be a religious passion, a religious foundation, equal in the same sense that we serve the same God. Outside of that, that other 20%, because religion, the passion of religion and having things in passion, that could be like 50 to 70% of what the relationship is about. And then the other 20, 30% is about those things outside of that. That could be the culture. That could be the way language is spoken. That could be a different language altogether. That could be those things that just enrich you as a person, that make you different. And there's nothing wrong with being different. So cultural exchange and age gap relationship, it adds that diversity and that excitement that just never ends. A man telling a woman 10 years after they were together, he still loves her and finds her to be the most attractive woman on the planet. That's amazing. Women love to hear this truth 20 years later. Tell her the same truth. She still excites you because you spent all your life being who you are. And now with these cultural differences, you're learning to be someone better in addition to who you are with a new person, because they're different. Even your friends will notice, wow, I've never seen you like this before. Or your foods taste different because you are influenced by something else other than what you know already. So yeah, cultural differences are amazing. You're always in a position in a relationship where you can just keep learning. Learning is a beautiful thing. Never being bored. This is because of the communication. Communication allows you for opportunities for this type of growth. Share stories. Tell stories. Tell about your childhood. What happened to you in the second grade? Oh, where did that scar come from? You ever broke a bone? How'd that happen? You ever flew a plane? You're a pilot. Didn't know you were a pilot. There are many, many things that you're going to learn as you go on this lifelong journey with your partner. I mean, marriage is a beautiful thing. And you hear married couples that have been married for years that have these very close relationships go, I never knew that. That's awesome. That's a great thing to say. See, then there's something else to talk about, even as they've been together for 25 years or more. I mean, these are beautiful things. These are the economics of relationship, the economics of love. It keeps growing, teaching and being taught. You've got a lot to offer. Share it. Share what you have. Tell your partner how to love you. There's a love language. Everybody has a love language. Find out what your love language is. If you don't know what your love language is, research. There are 5 different types of love languages. I think there are 5. Maybe I need to do more research. It's possible, but know what your love language is. Some people's love language is music. Some people's love language is being creative. It's what is the thing that's going to bring you together that makes you as an individual-minded person in the relationship. Makes you think, oh, I'm doing this, her. Oh, I'm doing this, him. See, that love language is a powerful thing that draws you closer together as you teach valuable lessons to your partner about how life touches you, and you learn how life touches them, and you see each other. You see each other when other people can't because there's a connection. The connection is called open-mindedness. You're so open-minded that all you know how to be is positive and encouraging to your partner. Instead of waiting for them to give you the details, you just insistently ask what's going on and you keep inquiring till you understand and know the whole story, because stories sell. They don't just tell. You want a story so you can build a foundation on a story. That's why they call it the first story, second story, third story. Keep building, and you'll notice that your relationship goes past the clouds, goes into the heavens, and you're like, wow, she's just like heaven. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So love is lasting. It goes beyond numbers. Love is beyond the ages. I mean, love is seen from a distance. Love exists when you're just in a room by yourself and your partner's off at work or in another part of the world. Love continues to exist because two hearts that beat together as one cannot be separated by distance or time or age. Two hearts that beat together as one, a nurturing connection, nurturing connections that have a focus on sharing values, interests, and aspirations. And this is what your age gap relationship does for you. Love endures all things. Share your inspiring age gap stories. Let your partner know really what they mean to you and keep moving forward, because love knows no boundaries. You cannot tie love up. If you tie love up, it's just going to overgrow the tie and eventually you won't even see the knot anymore, because love keeps growing. Be a part of that love. Participate in love with your partner and just abound. So in closing, remember that age, it's not just a number, it's a mile marker. It just lets you know where you are in life at a certain point. But it doesn't mean that you haven't done enough or experienced enough. It's just an opportunity to keep moving forward. Age always goes up. It always goes in a positive direction. It goes into the more direction. And you can have more with your partner in your age gap relationship and have extraordinary depths and beauty and just launch yourself in a way that's just magnificent. So whether you are in an age gap relationship or you're thinking about getting into one, or you know of others into one, we hope this dialogue, well, it hasn't really been a dialogue because I'm the only one talking, but we hope this has been eye-opening for you. We hope that you are continuously being open-minded and learning to expound on your beauty, the beauty of relationships. Because as we continue to talk and as we continue to achieve, understand that age gap relationships are here to stay forever. Why? Because love is here to stay forever. So we thank you for joining us, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so now. And don't forget to hit the notification button to know the next time that we will go live on our channel and talk to you about more things regarding relationships, all things age gap relationship wise. These are the subjects that we talk about for the benefit of you and the benefit of just making the planet just a little bit better and sweeter. So my name is Marvin Kane. I'm your guide on this journey. I've been there. I've been your host. And this is Love Is Not Judgmental. And we look forward to seeing you on our next live. Have a great day. And